Dans le jeu vidéo, il y a des lieux qui nous laissent de marbre. Pas d'identité, pas d'âme, pas d'éléments marquants, une disposition hasardeuse, aucun élément qui ne saute aux yeux, bref, des lieux oubliables. Puis il y en a dont on se souviendra à jamais. Blanche-Rive dans Skyrim, Toussaint dans The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine, le manoir mécanique de Dishonored 2, la Villa Auditore d'Assassin's Creed 2. Enfin, il y en a de rares, de très rares, que l'on semble avoir parcouru avant même de s'y être rendu. Aujourd'hui, je vais te raconter l'histoire d'un de ces lieux-là et surtout l'histoire tragique de la famille y ayant habité durant un siècle. Ce lieu, c'est la maison des Finch, et le jeu se nomme What Remains of Edith Finch. Bienvenue l'ami.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
En arrivant dans ce jeu, on ne sait rien, si ce n'est qu'une certaine Edith nous raconte son histoire, car cette Edith, passé ses premiers mots, nous l'incarnons.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Elle retourne dans la maison qui l'a vue grandir, une maison à présent abandonnée. Souvent dans un jeu où plane un mystère, le but est de l'élucider. On a une question, on cherche une ou plusieurs réponses. Ici, l'idée est déjà de comprendre quoi élucider, de trouver la question.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know, or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Nous ne savons pas ce que nous faisons ici, ce que nous cherchons. Nous savons juste que les réponses, qu'importe ce à quoi elles répondent, se trouvent en ces lieux. Edith elle-même hésitait quant aux raisons de son retour. Sa seule certitude, c'est que cela semblait nécessaire.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Je suis arrivé à la maison. Et puisque la porte principale est bloquée, je décide de faire le tour et d'entrer par le côté, en empruntant une trappe.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
J'explore ensuite les pièces du rez-de-chaussée et découvre un habitat très fourni, empli d'un très grand nombre de vestiges de la vie qui emplissait ces pièces, presque un trop-plein de vie d'ailleurs. Un lieu où des générations se sont succédées et où rien n'a été jeté ni changé. Il s'agit à la fois d'une maison qui a beaucoup vécu mais qui, du coup, puisqu'elle ne vit plus, fait l'effet d'un musée.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Un Yeti dans le fond.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Et s'ils sont partis en 2010 ? Ah oui, donc ils sont partis à la mort de Lewis, qui est l'autre frère. Lui est mort à 22 ans. Milton, le plus petit, est mort, lui, à 11 ans. Oh, alors ça c'est scellé, putain. En grimpant jusqu'au premier étage et en l'inspectant, je finis par trouver une pièce secrète dans laquelle je me faufile, une pièce débouchant dans la chambre condamnée d'une certaine Molly, une enfant de la famille décédée plus de 70 ans auparavant. Nous sommes en 2016 et Edith à 17 ans.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Alors que je fouille sa chambre, je trouve le journal de Molly et en le lisant, je découvre une première histoire. Malheureusement, et tu le comprendras très vite, une première tragédie.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back. My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
I kept eating and eating.
Non. Pas ouf ça. Oh
I
non.
ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Hey.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. The babies were all gone. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark. I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I grabbed on tight. And when I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. To stop, but also I didn't. After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer.
Oh.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Au fond, c'était une histoire très métaphorique, étrange et remplie d'éléments que nous ne croirons probablement pas. Mais en même temps, la mort précoce de Molly est bien réelle. Était-ce vraiment un serpent ou un empoisonnement? Le résultat est le même. En sortant par la fenêtre et en me faufilant jusqu'à la pièce voisine, je découvre un ensemble de portraits, ainsi qu'une sorte de petite lanterne magique, un ancêtre du projecteur de diapositives permettant de découvrir des photos. Il est question de certaines origines de la famille. Le nom de celle-ci a en effet plusieurs siècles, mais l'histoire de cette maison est plus récente. Et elle a débuté avec Odin.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Une malédiction donc. Ce qui, je dois l'avouer, m'est très plaisant dans cette aventure, au-delà du mystère et ce malgré les morts, c'est la notion de secret. Non seulement le mystère un peu mieux cerné à présent qui plane sur la famille, pourquoi Edith est la seule survivante des Finch, mais aussi toutes ces petites pièces, ces recoins, ces passages secrets si intelligemment dissimulés ces petits mystères architecturaux disséminés dans la maison. C'est quelque chose qui m'a toujours fasciné, demeurer à la fois dans une bâtisse qui est son chez-soi, mais simultanément une sorte d'aventure quotidienne. Un lieu, normalement serein et familier, dépourvu d'ennui.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Je continue donc d'explorer cette maison et découvre de nouvelles pièces qui furent celles d'anciens membres de la famille, membres dont on apprendra assez peu de choses par la suite. Puis je parviens à un livre. Celui-ci contient une énigme.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Dans cette chambre noire, quelqu'un semblait faire de la photo presque en cachette, aurait-on dit, mais après tout, une pièce sombre, sûre et surtout à l'écart de toute nuisance enfantine, cela semblait approprié. Puis après avoir rampé à travers un autre passage, j'arrive dans une nouvelle pièce. Plus originale et stimulante, je dois dire. Une pièce à l'image de cette maison, un chez-soi confortable, mais synonyme d'aventure. Malheureusement, comme presque toutes les autres, celle-ci portait le deuil.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Oh non.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
C'est pas
I
vrai.
told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Oh putain.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Je trouve ensuite un nouveau passage, cette fois caché derrière une bibliothèque, et je me retrouve après m'y être faufilé dans une nouvelle chambre, celle de Barbara. Une chambre de star, assurément, une chambre haute en couleurs dont les objets trahissent les rêves de célébrité de sa résidente. Mais tu connais le proverbe, il faut se méfier de ses propres souhaits.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman Killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the Late Picture Show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the Hookman, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And whoever he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
No, Pete. She played her part beautifully. But she sensed the story might not be over yet. The Hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Il existe encore pas mal de noms sur lesquels je n'ai pas mis de visage. Et même si le mystère concernant ses membres n'est pas tant le quoi, ils sont morts, mais plutôt le comment, je suis plus que jamais intrigué. D'autant plus que cette maison est architecturalement particulière. Outre les passages secrets ô combien intelligemment cachés, et les pièces ô combien personnelles, je me souviens qu'elle s'élève assez haut, cette maison. Les pièces semblent avoir été rajoutées au fur et à mesure, extension après extension, comme toutes ces vieilles bâtisses qui semblent dotées d'une âme. Mais ici, l'âme en question est presque chaotique. Bien, montons. J'ai rencontré un problème.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
J'ai tenté de me rendre à l'étage supérieur, mais celui-ci est fermé. Alors comme je n'ai pas pu monter, je suis redescendu afin d'utiliser à nouveau la boîte à musique présentée dans l'histoire de Barbara, car celle-ci contient la clé du sous-sol. Une fois devant, je la récupère afin d'ouvrir la porte et de m'engouffrer dans les profondeurs.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Je découvre une trappe menant vers un sous-sol sous le sous-sol, presque un bunker, et dans ce dernier, je réalise que quelqu'un y vivait. Walter, l'enfant qui serait resté caché lorsque Barbara fut agressée. Et dans ce bunker, il s'y serait terré 30 ans. Walter.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can. I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
En empruntant le même chemin que Walter, m'amenant d'abord à l'extérieur puis m'invitant à repartir vers la maison, je traverse le cimetière familial. Toute une compagnie aurait pu être enterrée ici, si l'on compte les animaux. épisodes. Passé ce cimetière, après être revenu au pied des murs, lorsqu'Edith grimpe à l'arbre pour se rendre à l'étage dans une autre pièce condamnée, celle-ci annonce à travers son récit être porteuse d'une certaine nouvelle.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Quoi ? Sans trop savoir quoi en penser, disons que c'est un peu de vie finalement, dans ce quotidien mortifère. Enfin, j'arrive dans la pièce de Sam, un marine américain, un passionné de chasse et de photos, un mec semblant assez intense. C'est le grand-père d'Edith. Et à son tour, je découvre son histoire.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Hey!
That's a keeper. Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. Or was it?
Ooh!
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Peut-être est-ce aussi la mort la plus concrète et fidèlement retranscrite. En arrivant dans la pièce d'à côté, je trouve des berceaux, avec au sein de l'un d'entre eux une lettre, accompagnant un acte de divorce mentionnant Sam et sa première femme, Kay. La lettre, elle, évoque Gregory, un de leurs enfants. Il n'avait qu'un an.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Watching's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw. It sure made him happy. I know how silly it sounds. That I worried about a baby being too happy. I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night. I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. He'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Bien sûr, quoi qu'on en dise, jamais une mère ne se pardonnera cet accident. Et de mon côté, bien que cela fasse un moment en vérité, je remarque que ce que je découvre est de plus en plus tragique, ou du moins cela me semble de plus en plus pesant. Est-ce parce qu'il est question d'enfants? Est-ce parce qu'il est question de responsabilité, du fait qu'autrui ait assisté en direct à ces morts? Est-ce parce que l'on sent qu'il ne s'agit plus de simples accidents, mais de décès découlant de décisions, potentielles conséquences des morts précédentes? Est-ce parce que cette histoire de malédiction, je commence à y croire, ou est-ce juste l'accumulation, le poids des tragédies qui s'empilent et le fait qu'on identifie de mieux en mieux qui est qui et quels étaient les liens entre eux? Un peu de tout, sûrement. Mais la mort de Sam puis celle de Gregory a achevé de tuer toute excitation liée à la découverte de cette maison. Cette enquête me fait maintenant, enfin, l'effet d'une marche funèbre. D'autant plus que l'arbre généalogique se complète. Nous sommes presque au sommet. Ce qui devient glaçant. Après tout, sur cet arbre, peut-être manque-t-il une date, et je commence à croire qu'il nous faudra l'inscrire. Après avoir découvert et assisté, ou du moins interprété la mort de Gregory, je me rends juste au-dessus, et y découvre le bureau de Dawn, la mère d'Edith. Il est question dans ces affaires d'un voyage en Inde, où elle a rencontré le père d'Edith, Sanjay, avec qui elle a eu 3 enfants avant que ce dernier, semble-t-il, ne décède dans un tremblement de terre, en 2002. Décès qui a poussé Dawn à retourner vivre ici, dans la maison familiale. Mais rien de plus cette fois. Quelques souvenirs, quelques calendriers passés, quelques bouts d'articles, la présence du catholicisme, mais c'est tout. Alors après avoir quelque peu fouillé, je redescends. Je remarque en passant que j'ai raté une sorte de bobine dans cette pièce, accompagnée d'un long papier se déroulant en même temps qu'elle. Un portrait de Gus se situe à côté, des dates, et je comprends qu'il est question du second frère de Dawn.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. Do may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Dans l'arbre généalogique, il nous reste 3 mystères à élucider. La mort de Lewis, le premier frère d'Edith, la mort de Milton, le second, et l'avenir d'Edith elle-même. À partir d'ici, et ce jusqu'à l'éclaircissement des 2 décès, je vais me taire. Ici, plus que jamais, les images parlent d'elles-mêmes, bien que l'une des histoires semble permettre un tout petit espoir. Je reviens juste après.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush. I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Il a juste disparu?
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Oh wow.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. that part of him lived on. Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. He took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery, I spoke with his boss. But he said Louis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Louis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Louis Token. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery, but his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor.
Il a gagné.
And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for sinister serpents. He followed the sound of her silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. We began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Louis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who had insisted on inviting him. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Ok, il y a une chose que je ne t'ai pas montrée. Sur le bateau, au tout début, on a vu quelqu'un ouvrir un carnet et une voix, celle d'Edith, a commencé à nous parler. Ce que je ne t'ai pas montré, c'est que, bon, le journal en question, c'est celui d'Edith, mais la personne qui le lit, ce n'est pas elle. La personne à qui elle s'adresse, c'est...
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. On the way back from Louis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance, or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories! I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine!
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Si je devais retenir une idée, une leçon, une morale de cette histoire, ce serait sans doute de célébrer la vie pour ce qu'elle est et non pour ce qu'elle aurait pu être. Au final, un thème revient dans cette famille. Chaque membre semble à sa manière enchaîné au passé, cette constante réécriture d'un vécu devenu illusion transformé ici en malédiction. Et derrière chaque conte, chaque anecdote se cache quelque part, directement ou indirectement, la même mécanique. La honte, la peur d'avoir mal agi, la volonté de fuir, le déni. Certains ne se sont jamais pardonné leurs erreurs. Or, la culpabilité est aussi une prison. Tu sais, j'ai rencontré et côtoyé assez de gens vivant à travers cette dernière pour le réaliser. Et au fil du temps, j'ai moi-même développé un certain goût pour le drame, pour le « comment j'aurais pu agir ». Et je n'ai appris à m'en détacher que depuis quelques années, suffisamment pour qu'il ne soit plus qu'un petit réconfort ponctuel, rappelant le plus important. Car tout n'est que perspective et Edith l'a bien compris. Elle n'a pas nié son passé familial, mais elle n'a pas accepté non plus cette idée de malédiction. Je crois qu'elle est parvenue à faire ce qu'elle espérait au final avec ce journal. S'approprier les événements sans en faire des barreaux. Elle a découvert et tout raconté, sans secret et surtout sans malédiction, mais en célébrant le fait d'avoir vécu au lieu de déplorer la mort des siens. Elle a réécrit cette histoire. Et ainsi, malgré sa propre disparition, ce qu'elle a livré à son fils, ce n'est pas une nouvelle cellule, mais un encouragement, presque une célébration. J'espère que ce récit t'a plu, et je te dis à la prochaine, l'ami.